Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we have Nick,
Hello.
Brandon.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games and celebrate, I guess, 500 episodes. That's the
Yeah.
cost
Holy
during Game of
shit.
the Year. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's a lot of episodes.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's at least 400.
Yeah,
It really is.
maybe even like 300. Or, you know, it's 1,000 half episodes.
Also
yeah,
true.
that's the one. If we're treating it like Animaniacs, then yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many TikToks it would be, but I'm sure like it just
Oh,
kinda
Jesus
gets
Christ.
exponentially bigger.
I can't even comprehend that number.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like at least 30,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably. I mean, if we did like how long are TikToks?
Like 30 seconds.
You know
to
what,
a
man?
minute.
I gotta be honest. I don't know the rules of TikToks because I feel like I've watched 10-second ones, and then I've also watched ones that were entire SpongeBob episodes. So like, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know about the entire SpongeBob episodes, but I've definitely seen like 10 seconds to like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or some shit like that.
I've definitely watched an entire 15-minute Sponge. Like I think the other day, I saw it was somebody put like the full health inspector video on TikTok, and I was like,
that's
"It's
such a good episode." Would it be 11 minutes?
I don't know.
Because it's
depends.
like half of one, and they normally go for 22 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But-
Not a clue.
But yeah.
Anyways, it's on the agenda for today. Vampire Survivor.
Yes.
I got that new Fire Emblem game.
Ooh,
I
I'm
really
actually
want to
excited
play that.
I'm excited to hear
Same.
about that because I also want to play it, but I'm not ready to buy it just yet. But I do want to hear if good.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Apparently,
Same.
Nick's still playing Sonic Frontiers. Oh, and you watched the Last of Us show.
I did. I watched the first episode.
Ooh. I haven't watched the second episode yet, but I have seen the entirety of the first episode.
I have not watched either yet. I'm going to. It's on my to-do list.
You know what I watched instead of it, Nick? Spy Family. And
Oh.
yeah, I watched the first 5 episodes of that
Very
in
good.
one sitting.
I also think I watched the first 5 episodes of that in one sitting as well because it is that good of a show.
It really is. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that I watched was the new Junji Ito TV show that came out.
Oh
That's
yeah, I forgot
on
that was
Netflix.
coming out.
Yeah, it's pretty good too. I liked it. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
You have the floor. Do whatever you want. You like breakdance? That'd be cool.
Who's breakdancing, me or Nick? Who are you talking to?
Whoever has the floor currently.
Well,
'Cause that's
you
normally
said
what a
you-
floor is
I
used
don't
for.
know. Yeah, but I just don't know. We don't know who has the floor.
It's
So
not
who are
me.
you
That's
talking
all I know.
to? Jeez. Oh, I forgot. Nick's got to run this show. Nick,
Mm-hmm.
run this show.
I'll go first, I guess.
No, you actually have to present our
Oh.
games as well. That's how you're running this show.
I will say, there is literally from 3 minutes ago some breaking news that I could have seen come. Actually, anybody could have seen coming.
Oh, is it the Rick and Morty thing?
No, it's extended to Squanch Games. So if you haven't heard, Justin Roiland is in some shit.
Yeah, he did
A little
some
bit
bad.
of shit. Well, I will say allegedly, but also at the same time, who could tell? And
Wasn't it? I was gonna say, didn't other people in the industry come out and be like, "Yeah, this is something we've known about for a while, but he's like protected. We aren't supposed to say anything."
Oh,
I
don't
thought
know
I
about-
saw it
I
like
don't know
a week
about
ago or
that
something.
deep,
I think I saw that like a week ago.
But just 3 minutes ago, I saw on Twitter that Squanch Games says that on January 16th, 2023, Squanch Games received Justin Roiland's resignation. So he no longer works at the game company that he founded and no longer works for the show that he co-wrote. Which is really interesting because like anything that Justin Roiland is in, you knew he was in because it was like all over the fucking place.
Mhm.
Besides, voicing the main characters on Rick and Morty and also voicing a large part of stuff on Squanch Games' shit.
Mhm.
What would be hilarious if like Rick and Morty got funnier with
I
him
was
not
thinking
being
that
there?
too. My friend actually had a brilliant idea. Like someone in our chat wrote, They just need to recast him now, and then they're like, who could they recast him as? And one person wrote, they'll probably just choose Jennifer Hale and Nolan North, and they're like, that's just stupid. Why would they do that? He's like, imagine there's an entire silent episode and it's like we lost our voices to a disease, and now we have to steal someone else's voice. Easy peasy. That's how you recast them, as any voice you want.
Oh yeah, done.
I was like,
Easy
that is
enough.
fucking genius.
But yeah, so that's interesting. I've actually abstained ever since I heard about this. I've abstained from playing High on Life,
Same,
and
same.
yeah, so that's interesting. But I guess I'll talk about the games that I played because I want to talk about some games kind of more in depth that we kind of, or at least I brushed over during Game of the Year, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first one I want to talk about because the one I'm the most excited about is Vampire Survivors.
I'm so excited.
This was an honorable mention on my list, and I would say that if it were to make my list, definitely in the high end of the second, like probably like in the sixes, like six, maybe even five, because the game is just phenomenal. I've played a little over 13 hours, and it continues to surprise me literally every single run that I play. Um, I've unlocked, I think at this point, like 15 characters, one of which is a
Nice.
dog, which is interesting.
Yes.
I think I did attack and dethrone God last night in the game.
It's possible. It's possible. What was the boss like?
The boss was multiple Grim Reapers fused into one.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's a good one.
I did that
and
boss.
Once you played that stage, you could never go back to it. Am I right? It just it vanished.
Was that the Bone Zone?
Oh no, Bone Zone's
No.
a different one. Okay,
Okay.
there's one stage. Sorry about that one. That like you can only ever play it once.
I think I
because of the
played
game.
that one.
Okay.
That one is I was playing, I think it was that stage. I forget exactly what the name of the stage was, but that's the one where like I was playing it the other day and like the whole game started to fisheye, like the like fisheye lens.
Yes.
And it got to a point where like it was just literally multiple colors of pixels on my screen. I literally thought it had like the same effect of like your Super Nintendo freezing.
Yes.
Because I thought my Steam Deck had frozen, and nope, it was all part of the game. They lulled me into a false sense of security, and then I was like thrown headfirst into a boss battle, and I was tearing. I had a really good run that round, so I was just whipping ass.
Very nice.
And I did win, which was great. And then like now, for whatever reason, like the following runs that I had after that, like mini versions of that boss was showing up, and then like I would kill him. Like I said, last night I did do the multiple Grim Reaper fused into one, and then I unlocked the limit break mode.
Oh yeah, that one's good. Where you can go beyond plus ultra.
Yes, yeah, you can just keep upgrading your dude. Just keep going.
There's actually a thing where you could say always like random what the thing is, so then you could just keep playing and it'll like pop up in the background. Oh, you've done plus speed now. Oh, you've done plus this now. And instead of you picking it, like there's a point with Limit Break where you get to like, yeah, I really don't want to click and choose. I'm already a god, so I'll just let the game decide for me.
My favorite character is, I forget what her name is. All the characters have kind of weird names, but it's the girl who has the two guns and her like she kind of fires like an X pattern.
Yes, that's one of the best. I also starts with a P, I think.
Yes, correct.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but yes.
Yeah, I want to say it's like PUR something or other. But last night I was playing a limit break run with her on one of the bonus maps. And I think it took the game throwing 6 Grim Reapers at me at the 15-minute mark before that finally took me down.
Very nice.
And like that was satisfying because I was like, oh, well, maybe I can kill like one or two of them. And like the game was like, nope, here's another one, here's another one, fuck you, here's another one. But I've just been having loads and loads and loads and loads of fun with this game. Like I cannot explain. Like I didn't think I would get this much out of this title that I did, and it's honestly exceeded my expectations. If you have not given the free phone version a chance, definitely give it a try. But I would say don't make that your committed platform. If you do have the ability to play this on like PC or
Game Pass as well.
Game Pass or even Steam Deck, like the game really flourishes when you have, even though it's only one input, really flourishes when you have some sort of toggle input. So even if you get like one of those Jawbone controllers for your phone, it like makes worlds of difference, because me playing basically the version on my phone made me intrigued enough to pick it up on Steam, where that has just kind of blossomed into something even greater. But I cannot put this game down. I've been playing at least a couple hours a day. And you know what's funny? I made the comment the other day when we were talking about Game of the Year, how it has a built-in kind of timer for you, so that you don't spend all day playing it.
And I told you that is not true in the least bit.
I made a whoopsie on Saturday and accidentally played for 2 hours. I was in my kitchen, I was cooking chili, and I was like, all right, chili needs to simmer for 30 minutes. Perfect, I'll get a run in. 2 hours later, I'm like, fuck. Chili didn't come out good enough.
Nice.
But yeah, it's like for the amount of money that you pay for, which I think again is like maybe $4. It's just packed full of shit and will keep you kind of surprised every once in a while. Because there's been times, and I don't know if it's just like my personality or what, but there's definitely been times where I've been playing the game where I'm like, boy, this sure is boring, and the game's like, oh, you thought so, dickhead, and like will kick me in the ass and like throw something at me that I've never seen before. I'm like, all right, cool, now I guess I got to figure this out.
Yep.
And it's consistently done that, and like I said, I'm 13 hours in, so
it doesn't stop doing that. I'm 61 hours in. It doesn't stop.
Yeah,
it really doesn't.
It's consistently kept me entertained and enthralled, and just like I cannot commend the development team of this game enough, because they did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely
phenomenal. So yeah, it's on Game Pass. Try it out if you have Game Pass. It's on your phone for free, and then obviously it's on Steam and Steam Deck by extension. I actually would see this game being able to come to like other platforms. It could be
able to be on Switch.
Yeah, it could be on Switch. You know, no reason why it shouldn't be on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So definitely give it a try, and the music's really good too.
It is. That's why I put it in the running for best music of the year, because it's really fucking good. I hope when you get further along, if you haven't already, you pick up the DLC, because the DLC is even better.
Yes, I will be picking that up. I actually have a Steam card I got to put on my profile, and I haven't done that yet, and I don't know why I haven't done that yet. But it will be going on my profile, so I can get that.
I wanted to compare our achievements, but you have all gameplay vision blocked on your Steam account. I can't even see your achievements or any game you own.
How do I change that? I never
believe
knew.
It's under your account settings. It might be a default thing initially. It didn't used to be.
I was gonna say, because you're the first person to ever say to me, "Hey, I can't see your shit." Profile maybe? Question mark.
It's like however you blocked them in the first place.
Yeah.
Go to when I made my Steam account 15 fucking years ago. Privacy settings, basic details, public profile, public game details, friends only, friends only. Yeah, that's weird.
Why does it not show on your profile then? Because it literally just says inventory, screenshots, reviews. That's all it shows on your profile.
Let me I'll just put everything to public, because it doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
That's weird, because we are friends.
We are friends. You're right.
Yeah. Go back to my profile. I don't know.
I see it. I just refreshed. I can see your games now.
Okay. Well, I put everything to public, so now all my shit's out. But
yep, that's a lot of Beat Saber hours. I'm impressed.
Oh, there's a considerable amount of time that I played Beat Saber.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go. I have 77 achievements in Vampire Survivors. Holy shit!
You do.
I had no idea.
You do. I'm wondering if you have any that I don't have. Because I definitely skipped over some of the characters that I didn't really care about. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm just happy that someone else is experiencing Vampire Survivors now. I'm super happy about that.
It's so fucking good. And I also plan on buying, even though we did talk about it a little bit in Game of the Year because of the music from it. I do also plan on buying and playing Neon White at some point on my Steam Deck as well.
That'd be
Fancy.
awesome.
Because I've also been listening to that soundtrack to and from work, and I'm like, this shit fucking whips. It's so good. House of Cards so far, I think, is my
Very nice.
favorite song because it's got a good it starts up with a fucking smacking bass line. I'm like, you got me. The other game I want to talk a little bit more in depth to, because again we kind of just brushed over it during the Game of the Year talks, is I did finish Sonic Frontiers.
Okay.
And
you completely changed your mind and think it's the best Sonic game.
No, it's so like. Okay, I will level with the people who do like the game, and I will level with the development team. There's a lot of ideas thrown at this. A lot. Some work well, some don't work at all, and some would work better with tooling.
I agree. Absolutely agree.
And this game, kind of to me, the way I'm seeing it now, is not as the next step in the Sonic franchise, more as though it's kind of like the developers release this as a, what do you guys like? Show us what you like about this game. And then we'll kind of incorporate those things more so into whatever comes next.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
And they've kind of already came out already and have started saying oh, the next Sonic game won't have that boost mechanic in it, which is great because it does not work well in Sonic Frontiers. My biggest hangups still are the cyberspace levels just do not work for me. They control horseshit. The game seems to punish you for going too fast, which is funny because it is a Sonic the Hedgehog video game. And it's just what annoys me the most about the cyberspace levels too, and this might just be more of a me thing, but I'm so sick and tired of Sonic kind of relying on the crutch of being remember all the old shit we did? Because if I gotta see Chemical Plant Zone or Green Hills one more fucking time, I'm gonna go insane. It's frustrating that they can't seem to make new memories with the franchise and have to keep kind of going back to the things that they know people like. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So I would like to see the series kind of take on, in its future, more things that define it better than just revisiting Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, and literally
No, I understand that.
copy literally some of the levels in Sonic Frontiers are copy pasted levels from Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure. That to me is I don't want to call it lazy, but
it feels like nostalgia bait.
It's nostalgia bait. It's boring. I've done it. I want something new. The stuff that does kind of work and click for me with that game, I thought the open zone stuff was really cool. I would like a more focused kind of version of that in the future, only because I felt like they were still kind of trying to incorporate old Sonic stuff into it. So the thing that would break up the open world for me the most is you'd be zipping around trying to go from A to B, and you would accidentally hit a spring, or you would hit a speed boost that oops, you just jumped halfway into a obstacle course that was planted on the map, and now you're hard locked to it, and you either gotta finish it or you back out of it by going backwards. And that to me is very momentum breaking and really kind of takes me out of what I'm trying to do. The rail system that you unlock to kind of get you around the island is really cool, and it probably is a much better way to avoid that, but at some point you will have to go inland and you will come across that. So I kind of wish those obstacles maybe disappeared after you did them, because there were times where there were unlockables that I had done the side loop thing around it to unlock whatever the obstacle course was. Did the obstacle course, grabbed whatever it was that was there, and then I would go away, I would come back maybe an hour later or whatever, and I would still see the same unlockable thing there for the same thing that I already got. And it would still populate on the map as, hey, this is something that you can do, but I already did it.
Did that happen in later levels, or did it even happen at the beginning?
I more so noticed it in later levels because I will say on the first island, I did not do as much exploring as I did on the following ones. So I noticed it a lot more on those.
Interesting.
Um,
That is really odd, in my
Yeah.
opinion, at least. Again, you're playing on PlayStation, right?
yes, I played on PS5.
Okay. I do want to
Um,
look into and see how the PS5 version is in general, because a lot of your issues, such as like stuck in the ground, that sort of thing, or
yeah,
having things just not like work the way it was supposed to, just doesn't make sense to me because I did not run into them. I'm not
yeah.
discounting that you did or being like, oh, you didn't run into that. I'm just saying
Oh,
it
yeah. I
just
mean,
seems really odd that it would do that on PlayStation of all things. Because you'd think like PC would be more broken, right?
you would assume so, yeah, but it also depends on too, like this game definitely was not made. I would venture a guess and say not even ground up for the PS4, just
Mhm,
because of the way it kind of looks and feels. I personally feel like I, I don't know what system was their main focus, but
mhm.
I don't know. It could have been PC and then maybe ported to other things.
No, there's no way they would do that. It's Sega. Sega ain't been doing that except for with the Yakuza games now.
So I would agree with you if not for the fact that we were in this generation. We are in a
Yeah,
console generation where
makes
like
no
you
sense
cannot
at
tell
all.
the difference between a PS5, a Series X, and a PC, at least from a software level point of
That's
view.
fair. That is
They're
very
all
fair.
x86 PCs.
Hmm.
Obviously, they're running embedded versions of software. I assume Microsoft is running some embedded version of Windows, whereas
Yeah.
PlayStation's running some embedded version of Linux.
Okay.
Um, so I would assume that they made it for PC and then made it work for consoles and then kind of went down from there. Because I
Hmm.
did watch my girlfriend play it on Switch, and it runs like as you would expect,
The
dog
Switch.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
What a surprise!
So yeah. So like that, like the Switch version to me is very telling of, all right, they downgraded from what they have, like to the port for this. This was a port from something that was a much better performing version. Um, and then I guess like my final kind of complaint for the game is just the way the story is presented to you
Hmm.
and the way just kind of the world is presented to you. I think I mentioned that I didn't realize that. Well, I knew there was a fishing mini game in the game.
Yes.
My friends had talked about it. They briefly mentioned it at the beginning of the game, and then I did not find that fishing mini game until the last island.
It's just so crazy to me.
And the thing about the fishing mini game is it has what I would argue as the most important stuff in the game because there's these what the egg they're like notes, like audio logs, I guess, that you're supposed to
They're
read through.
essentially like your audio logs, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the story building and the background of like why Dr. Eggman is there, why certain things are happening, like all of that is in there. And it's
Yeah.
important for you to understand like what the fuck is going on. Is
That's so weird. So, like, I actually actively, like I said, explored, and I love fishing and I love golfing, so I did the fishing mini games. So, like, I didn't have that same experience of being completely fucking lost. So I can only imagine how it
my
was. For you.
my thing is, and this might come across as way too handholdy, right? But I
Yeah.
feel like on the first island, they should have been like, hey, like as soon as it opens up to the open world, I feel like it should be like, hey, open your map to look at certain things, and then it should
Yep.
have pinged, here's your first cyberspace level to go to. Here's this cool fishing thing you want to try out. Like I feel like on the first world, they should have kind of walked you to these things,
I do
and
feel like they
then
did that with the cyberspace thing, but they
yes,
just basically showed like a little key and it was like, hey, we could put a key in there. Whoa!
correct,
And it was
yeah.
like, okay. But like, yeah, the fishing mini game, I found that on my own. And I found that in the second world. I didn't even find it in
Which
the first
to
world.
me is still too late. Like,
No, I agree.
you-
I do agree. It's just really weird.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I feel like they should have been like, hey,
there should have been a middle ground where they gave you some story that was pertinent to the actual plot, and then
here's
had
this
little
wacky fishing
other
game.
things that were in the wacky fishing game, like that added to it.
I will also say the wacky fishing game completely broke the game for me by the time I found it, because
Really?
I had like 700 fucking tokens for like the memory
Oh,
tokens.
so you were just fucking going, basically.
Before I finished the last boss, everything was at 99.
That's
everything.
insane.
And I was
insane.
like, this is silly. This is so silly. Because, like, if I had gotten that powerful, like, I would have had enough coins to do what I did probably towards the end of the second island.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been walking through that game. Realistically, I've been the last Titan, or Guard, whatever the fuck they are, was the easiest battle out of all of the battles that I had done, because I, like, smacked him once and his health bar exploded. Like, it was stupid. It was dumb. So, like, I think that, like, from a story kind of point, and just kind of, like, the way the game presents itself to me, like, that was probably, like, my most annoying thing about the game, is because, like, I was playing the game and I found myself, like, being lost, because you would get fed things that were important to the overall story, but then you were lost in the details about things, and like it kind of made the larger pieces not seem as important, because you're like, all right, this shit is happening with the little what were the little guys called?
I don't know, dude. I can't remember, but yeah, they were little.
The little terracotta people. I'll call them that.
Yeah,
like there was things going on with them, and they went to space and got vibe checked by a giant monster, and now these things are happening.
That for some reason looked like chaos, but
yeah,
the
they
chaos
all look
was
like
also them, and it is weird. It's some weird shit.
Like it to me. If the details of the story are as important as the story you're laying out to me themselves, then maybe it should be a little bit more in the forefront. And then, like, the egg notes that are on the fishing games kind of just add depth to what I already know. And they did not do that right.
Yeah, I didn't run into that, so I had no idea that was a thing until you told me. I was like, what the fuck? Yes. And my other friend who, he also didn't run into that because he just went exploring because he really enjoyed his time with the game. So he never saw it either. He just saw it as a story. We thought it was playing out like the story should play out. We had no idea that it was missable. So I was so confused when you were talking to me about it.
Yes, it's all completely missable. And then there's like little things like the slot machine that pops up in the island island number 2, that like you'll randomly get these meteor showers, and the slot machine comes up and covers like a third of your screen, and then you're gambling for like the next 40 minutes.
But Sega loves gambling.
Sega does love gambling, and it's very weird. I don't understand it. Sega also has like a hard-on for Christmas for whatever reason.
That's true.
Because they also added a Santa outfit for this game.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
But like,
I wish we got the stuff that Japan got for the game. Did you know that Japan got HoloLive VTuber costumes for the fucking Sonic Frontiers?
I don't know why we didn't get a Hatsune Miku outfit.
I agree.
Where's my Miku outfit? We got soap shoes.
We literally though got Japan literally got like official VTubers from HoloLive as outfits, and then those VTubers did sponsored streams of the game wearing the outfit as Sonic. You know the dog Kuroni?
Yeah.
She's in the game in Japan
as
wild. DLC, and then she even had a collab where she has plates of her and Sonic, where she's wearing Sonic's like a Sonic suit, and Sonic's wearing like a suit of her, and they're on literal plates, like dinner plates. It's crazy.
It's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But what the dog do though?
What the dog doing? Playing Sonic Frontiers. And then, I don't know, do I have anything else that no. I mean, I guess it's kind of, the combat was fine. The actual battles were pretty fun. I did enjoy hearing all of the emo fucking Kelly Quinn tracks. Those were good. Undefeatable. Or I think it's
Yep.
I think it's undefeatable is a certified classic.
It
Um,
absolutely is.
certified classic. That's a great fucking song. Um, and I'm excited for the roadmap that they have for 2023
I
because
haven't
there
seen
is
it.
story DLC. So there's a whole bunch of free DLC coming to this game. We're
Okay.
getting story DLC. The game will be completely playable as Tails, Amy Rose, and Knuckles.
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 No, cool.
And I think there were some other. What else was there? Let me see. Sonic Frontiers Roadmap. Nope, not ROM leak. That's illegal. Uh,
The Switch version leaked first. Everyone was able to play it, and they were
so
posting stuff of it on
is
Twitter.
this the real one? Yeah, so there's a jukebox. So there's two or three updates. The first update has a jukebox, a photo mode, and a challenge mode.
Okay.
The second update, the first bullet point listed is just Sonic's birthday. So
Okay.
All right. All right.
open zone challenge and then new Cocos.
That's the things. Those were the things.
Yeah.
These the heads you were talking about. The
And
little
then update
cow-like things.
3, which I assume because when is Sonic's birthday? Sonic
Let's find out.
birthday.
I bet it's gonna give us the rush
June
run.
23rd. So update 2 I would assume comes out on
Around
or
E3?
June 23rd. Yes. Which
Yeah.
would mean that update 3 probably comes out sometime in the neighborhood of like October.
The end of the year. Yeah.
Where you get playable characters and new story. So Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and then they have the cyber child of the illegitimate cyber child of Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Robotnik.
Yes. So
Oh shit,
and then
sorry, I forgot Eggman.
update 1 probably will be here. I would assume probably February or March. It seems like a very small thing to kind of add to the game because 2/3 of it are things that are like it's content that exists in the game.
Yeah.
It's just adding different ways to like use that content. So that's coming all this year. So if that tickles your pickle, so I don't know. I'll probably pick it up again when the story DLC comes out to see if I can do anything about that. I will say one more thing about the Cocos, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's stupid annoying. So in Sonic Frontiers, you upgrade, was it speed, ring capacity, attack, and defense.
Yeah.
And you do this by talking to like
You
elder
have to
Cocos.
continuously do it. Yeah.
But no, what's so dumb about it is that
Uh-huh.
when you go to the one elder Coco for attack and defense, it stacks. So if you have enough, whatever the fuck it was, to upgrade your attack and defense, it's like, oh, you were level 7, you now have enough to be level 20. And it would just, boom, upgrade you.
But speed doesn't.
If you're trying to do speed, or if you're trying to do rings, you have to individually hit the button to upgrade it every single level. And it caps at 99. So you're hitting that button 98 times. Because you start at level 1 per thing. So 98 times for rings, 98 times for speed. Have fun.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
That is stupid.
Random Sonic thing I've been meaning to ask about for a long
He's
time.
a fast rodent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched this new Sonic TV show?
I have not.
I have.
I've seen ads for it a few times. I just haven't.
Is it good?
Curious if it's good.
It's fine.
It's horrible. Got it.
All right, let me.
It's
let
not
me ask
Sonic
you.
Boom. It's not Sonic Boom.
Whoa, hold on. Dude, Sonic Boom is a fucking banger after the first season. Sonic Boom is legitimately amazing.
I wasn't saying it's not Sonic Boom.
It's not as good as Sonic Boom. Okay,
it's
gotcha.
not a dig at Sonic Boom. No,
yeah.
Sonic Boom makes me like Knuckles even more.
Yeah, because he's a feminist.
Yeah, he's a fucking what's it? Bimbo. He's a big old bimbo.
Oh, did you not? Have you not seen that clip of him or seen that episode?
Or himbo. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, you haven't.
So it's not terrible. I will say that it is very much watchable, but it's also like probably not for me in terms of like it's not a show. Not that any Sonic show is, but it's definitely not a TV show that's made for 29-year-old adult men.
It's definitely a kid show.
It's definitely a kid show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, there's things in it that, like, you'd be like, oh, that's cool. That's a reference to this, and that's a reference to this. And, like, there's things you'll pick up on, but it's, like, at its heart, it's kind of, like, its own thing, more or less. And there's like
no references to Misery, though, right? There's no references to Stephen King's Misery like Sonic Boom had.
No, Sonic Boom was smart children's TV, whereas this really is more so kind of like you took your kid to see Sonic 2, and now they're like, ooh, I love that blue man running, and you just put this on, and it kind of like you can just phase out of existence and let your child stare at this.
Blue hamster.
Yeah, oh my god. But like I said, it's not bad. I wouldn't not recommend you to sit through it and watch it, but I also would not be like it's great. You're gonna be blowing your socks off. Like it's just it is what it is. So
makes sense.
I think they're getting a season 2.
Surprising with Netflix, but who knows?
Yeah, that is surprising with Netflix because I will say on a sidebar, did you hear or see what the current CEO of Netflix said? He was like, we've never canceled a show that was successful. And like, that's a wild statement to make because like, I don't know who the fuck is watching Big Mouth, but like, there's so many good shows that got canceled and like Big Mouth just persists.
Didn't 1866 get like canceled immediately?
1866 got canceled.
Or 1883, maybe? No. What is it? What is it? I don't.
Something.
1880 something.
Ozark got canceled. What was the other show that was really fucking good? I know I never watched it, but I know a lot of people like that one show, the Santa Clarita Diet. That got canceled.
I liked that show. It was actually very good.
I think that one got 2 seasons though, at least. But still, canceled early.
Yes, but it ended on a cliffhanger. That's the like worst part.
That's why I don't watch Netflix shows anymore. Because that's what they do.
Canceled Netflix shows. I mean, also like just out of just pure hilarity, like the shows that came out and got canceled like a week later, like Cowboy Bebop, Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I mean, those deserved it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I did not realize that there was a live-action Winx Club show on Netflix, but there was.
There was for like 3 days, I think.
Yes, there was. Q-Force, which I have no idea what the fuck that was. Oh, Midnight Gospel got canceled. I heard that was very good. Space Force was bound to be canceled from the beginning, so I'm not surprised. I felt like there was more, but I know there's been some good shows. But even like their anime, like they're at least consistent with that. But it's also hard, like because most of the shows that they have, it's just like one season anyway. So like that's kind of probably more their bag. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with not wanting to watch anything on Netflix because you're gonna get invested and then be like, oh, never mind. I guess I'm not watching that anymore. So.
Yeah, although it seems like HBO is about to head down the same path with something.
HBO is doing that.
HBO hurts. Because they're doing it with all their animated stuff. They used it as a tax write-off.
Yeah,
they canceled like all their good animated shows.
Stupid.
Yeah. And it makes me really worried because we were supposed to get a final movie of Venture Brothers as well as a final movie of Metalocalypse to finish the series up for both of them.
I think we'll still get those.
I hope so.
Yeah,
we did get that final Aqua Hunger Force movie, and it was really good.
I did not watch it yet. I need to watch it.
It's very good.
I was talking about that show actually today because my one coworker was talking in a southern accent, and he sounded just like Jigglebilly. And I was cracking the fuck up, and I was like, "Have you seen Aqua Hunger Force?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You sound like Jigglebilly," and he just started doing it the entire day. It was great. But that's actually a great segue because I get to talk about the last thing on my list. Oh,
yeah,
another HBO show.
Another HBO show that probably won't get canceled, but probably should get canceled after one season.
Didn't it already get renewed? Something crazy.
I don't know. No, that was Velma. Velma got renewed for a second season. For some reason. Velma is HBO's Big Mouth, I think. It's an awful show that for some reason it gets renewed. I actually have a theory about Velma, and stop me if you've heard this one, because I don't think anyone shared this theory.
I'm very intrigued because unbeknownst to you two, huge Scooby-Doo guy. I
love Scooby-Doo.
I love
Scooby-Doo's great.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I grew up in Scooby-Doo. So my theory about Velma is that, you know how we were just talking about how like they canceled all the, animated shows and they claimed there was no interest in them and they used them as a tax write-off?
Correct.
I think they decided to put out the worst animated show ever as a way to prove that no one likes animated shows, so they can then point to Velma and be like, see, so we should cancel all the rest of our animated shows and scrap them.
Oh, but it fucking backfired.
But it actually is like the lowest rated thing ever. So that's
doesn't matter.
Thing. It doesn't matter because people hate watched it.
People are hate watching it. Yep.
But I feel like that's what they did. There's no way, if you've seen that show, and I apologize if you have, but if you've seen that show, there is no way someone looked at that show and was like, yeah, that's good. There's no way. There's just no way.
No. Oh god.
It's bad.
But no. So, Last of Us on HBO. I've watched the first episode. Brandon, you said you watched the first one well?
I have.
Pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. The adaptation for TV is good. There are some things that I guess my brain was cloudy on because I did play the original one 10 years ago.
Yeah.
There were certain scenes in the first episode that kind of had me confused. It was more so like there's a lot of shit that's like a shot for shot from the game to the TV show. But then there's also stuff in it like I don't remember Joel both peddling and using drugs.
Oh.
So, I don't remember that aspect either, but I think that was a way to build him on his character, because if you do remember, he was at least a drunk in the original thing.
So,
but some of his actions seemed like more something that like someone with a harder issue would have that came about in the original game. So my theory, at least there, is to expand upon his character and make his actions more believable. In that respect.
My whole thing was, and I talked to this about this with my friends too, is I think that there were more context clues in the game to kind of say that Joel is a shit person.
Yes.
Now. Yeah. And obviously you can't do the same kind of storytelling in a show, so then they had to kind of like visualize more so like the shitty things that he was doing.
Yes, absolutely.
And not necessarily like him like drinking and using drugs excessively, but like he was a shit person in other aspects because he was kind of like doing whatever he could for the things that he needed, no matter what that kind of thing was. I will say, in the show, the pacing at times felt a little off. Like the very end of the first episode, like when everybody kind of magically shows up in the same room together, I was like, okay, sure, that's fine.
When you say magically, you mean like when they came out of the thing, which then led them to the place, and the place happened to be the same place as the other woman and everything?
Yes.
So I don't really, if I recall like anything correctly, I think it's a case of at least the woman that Joel was working with, she kind of knows all the back doors and all the ways to get to place A and point B and this, that, and the other. And I do feel like, at least for her character, that worked. Because it just felt like someone that knew the ins and outs of everything. And it just happened to be, the other thing that's happening at that point in time. It happened.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I will say I did enjoy very much so how they kind of introduced the whole concept at the beginning of the show.
It was so good.
So in the first, like, I guess this is not a spoiler because it's literally the first 5 minutes of the episode.
I timed it.
Oh, okay.
The first 22 minutes.
There's like a pseudo like TV science talk show.
Oh, you're talking about that. I thought we were talking about the stuff that was like leading up to the literal beginning of the game.
Well, that was good too. Like the day of like the infection kind of starting.
Yeah, where we didn't see that in the game, but like the way it led up to what we saw in the game and the way it expanded upon it in a way that actually made it. Yes, I loved that. I thought it was excellent.
But obviously, like going into the show, like they had to write it for people who haven't played the game, so they had to explain kind of the infection and cordyceps and all that fun shit. And there was like this pseudo like science talk show that I guess was like kind of based in like the 60s or 70s. I think it was like 1968.
Yeah.
Where like there was a scientist and some like personalities, and they were talking, and they were like kind of laughing at him about like the concept of like a zombie apocalypse type
Hmm.
thing. And he was just going into detail about like cordyceps and how it's a fungus that controls its host's body without,
Yep.
by like pumping like what is it, hallucinogens and shit.
Into the brain
And
so that it can
yeah,
control its host. Yeah.
and they were like, well, we never have to worry about this because we're humans, right? And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, fungus dies at like this, like 96 degrees, and human bodies are 98 degrees. But what if something would happen that would cause fungus to maybe, mutate to
Yeah.
survive hotter temperatures? And they're like, well,
Hmm.
what do you mean? And he goes into like, well, global warming, and everybody kind of got like really fucking concerned when they said that. And like I thought that was like a really cool way to kind of ease people into the concept of what was going on.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then, like you said, like the 22 minutes of like Sarah kind of going through her day, and like you
Wanted to buy
kept
her dad a
seeing
birthday gift,
you
so
kept
she wouldn't
seeing
get watch fixed.
things kind of out of place in the
Hmm.
background, and like things are kind of acting weird. Have you ever seen the show? And I'm gonna connect this to an anime, so I'm
Hmm.
sorry, Mike, in advance. But have you ever seen the show School Live or School Live?
School
Yeah,
Live?
yeah, School Live.
Schoolhouse
School
Rock.
Live. School Live.
It's it's I don't want to spoil it for you because if you haven't seen it, the first episode is like a very fucking cool way of introducing the show. Um, but basically, like, it's a show
Oh,
about.
oh, this show. I have not seen this show. This is actually
Oh
on my
man.
watch list. Yeah.
So I will tell you this because the Last of Us does this not as good, but it's one of my favorite things. Like I guess if you want to call it like a trope in a TV show, where like things are not right, and unless you're paying super close attention, you don't see things, and then like you get to the end of the episode where they'll reveal everything,
Hmm.
or I guess like in this case, like after that kind of first little bit in Last of
Yeah.
Us, and then you like if you go back and watch, you're like, oh shit, that window was broken. Why was that window broken?
Yeah, yeah,
And
and you
like,
like saw all the cars like go speeding down the
yes,
highway in the background, but like you didn't actually see it because the window was like closed and everything. So like you could only kind of like get
or
glimpses of it.
like
Yeah.
there was context clues, like if you were listening like to the radio that they were playing or like the
Yep.
TV programs that were on, like there was context clues of like things are not going too hot right now. What the fuck?
Hmm.
So I absolutely love that, and it was a really cool way to kind of like expand the universe a bit and give a little bit more context as to what was going on. So I do plan on watching the second episode either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not
Yeah,
sure yet.
I might
Uh,
watch more Spy Family
but I
instead.
have heard that the second episode veers off a bit more from the
Mm,
game
okay.
and kind of leans harder into like the horror aspect of it.
Mm.
So, but my friends who have watched it and have played the game said it's good. So I have
Okay.
high hopes for it.
I mean, I think they've done such a good job, at least from what I've seen so far, that I think this is going to be a case of actually caring about the source material and using the medium of television to elevate the source material more so than to drag it down or to hide away from it, such as
Yes.
other things like Cowboy Bebop or like Resident Evil that we mentioned earlier. So, yeah.
But yeah, so far it's a show that I would recommend.
I would
It's
too.
quite good.
Hmm.
So,
Very good. Yeah,
but
it
those are all
looks
the
like
things that I've played and watched over this week.
Where do you guys want to go now?
Did you want to talk about Fire Emblem, or did you want?
I can talk about
Okay,
Fire Emblem.
cool.
That's fine. Yeah, so Fire Emblem Engage came out this last week. It is, I don't know, basically like what, the 30th anniversary game version of Fire Emblem. How do I put it? Kind of the big draw to this one is you get these emblems in the game that are tied to the main lord or lady or hero of the previous Fire Emblem games. So,
Mhm.
like you start out with Marth as like your emblem, and then as you go, you can get more. I mean, I haven't beaten the game yet, obviously, but the
Mhm.
game already hints to there being like 12 emblems, and they, from what I can tell, represent every core franchise in Fire Emblem or core entry in Fire Emblem, even the ones that weren't in the U.S. So because there was some unreleased ones still, even to this day, they
My
and
I was gonna say, my friend actually told me, and I'm not sure how true this is, but the DLC is supposed to actually cover the mobile game even.
So I kind of like looked around at some things that there are in the game, and it looks like there are some things that you can get that represent the mobile game. I'm not sure exactly what they are because I have not encountered such things yet. Just because of how far I got into it. I think I'm in like chapter 5, like after about 2 hours, I want to say.
Okay.
So TBD. But it looks like there is like some representation, at least as far as I've seen, looking through things that are there of the mobile game in this game. Although the mobile game is not considered to be like a main series entry. There is, as far as I can tell, no representation from, say, the Warriors games, really. Although I guess on the flip side, pretty much every character that's in there is represented from the original games, anyways. So there's only like maybe like 2 or 3 characters that are the Warriors
original
only. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. But the gameplay itself, it definitely is more of like a classic Fire Emblem type game. It's you have your maps, and then you go back to like a little base afterwards. That seems to have like unlockable progression with things. Not quite sure exactly everything it unlocks, but I think I unlocked like a cafe, like a bulletin board, and you can see different areas that are there. Like, oh, there's stables and there's different things that obviously are going to unlock as you progress through. Otherwise, though, the game is like very much like your typical like classic Fire Emblem. You got your supports, you got the weapons triangles back, which they took out in 3 houses. So your swords beat axes, axes beat lances beat swords, kind of thing. So that's all back. You just kind of have like your standard size maps. Recruitment in the maps is still there. There is no like marriage children thing in this.
None of that stuff. Got it.
Yes. So I guess you don't have to worry about that in this one. But it looks like they've kind of like beefed up the support system a little bit to compensate from what it sounds like.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, otherwise it is like a very classic Fire Emblem game. Just like the last couple, you have the option to start with either classic or casual in terms of like, do you want your characters to permanently die or not? And if you want them to permanently die, do you want to keep resetting the game over and over again so they don't die? So you have those kind of things. Difficulty settings. Difficulty can be switched while you play too. I think it said it can be turned down, but it can't be turned up.
Okay.
I recall. So you have those options. Otherwise, yeah, I mean it's Fire Emblem. It's kind of hard to like really say too much about it because there's not.
It's just Fire Emblem, isn't it?
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. I mean, it seems there. The characters seem kind of not too interesting yet, I would say. It's hard to say though. The story is kind of. I mean, it's Fire Emblem like core stories are like kind of weird. Like I don't remember Fire Emblem Fates. That story was really weird. And I guess even too with Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Yeah, it just took like a wild turn at some point just randomly. Like they just can't have like they haven't had like a straightforward like story since I feel like the GameCube one with like where it was just like, hey,
And they probably just feel like they need to one up themselves over and over and over and over again.
Maybe. I don't know. Or they just get sucked into like that anime trope or whatever. Some of the craziness has to do with the stuff that they want to do in there. Like obviously if you're gonna have like a Fire Emblem game where it's like you have marriage and kids and you want them to coexist at the same time, you do have to do it like a weird story mechanic for that to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But with this game not having it, story just still kind of seems a little weird. It starts off with like a prologue chapter that's no, I guess it's not set in the future. It's set in like the distant past, and the next thing you know, you're like in the present, and the game is just kind of like, I don't know why you're here. You lost your memory, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that sounds like another game that I will talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, just your typical like anime trope kind of thing. I have no memory. I don't know who you're. My mother. Don't remember you.
Is that a talking sword?
Yeah. And it's hinting towards something deeper. I'm sure there will be. This game looks like it screams, I have a twist coming. I feel like I'll see it coming before I get there. I honestly already kind of have a hint of it as to what it may be, but not enough to just be like, oh yeah, this is definitely what it is. So
I see.
yeah. What else did they bring back? Oh, they brought back that like time crystal thing that was in 3 houses, where it like lets you like if you fuck up, you can like go back a couple turns or whatever.
Oh, nice.
So that's back. That's kind of nice. And yeah, I mean, like it seems like it's a well built Fire Emblem game with the features that you know and love, while being in more of like a classic shell as opposed to like a Persona esque shell. And I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. I like the kind of like callbacks that they have to like the other games in the series. So yeah, it seems like it's pretty interesting. And also interesting too, because there were rumors. I don't know if you guys remember. It's been a while. I don't even know if we talked about them or not. But there was rumors that there was like a Fire Emblem, like another remake in place, like along the lines of say maybe like Echoes was like a
okay.
game in the series.
Yeah.
I guess when they data mined this game, there was a hint towards it actually being true, because 3 houses was labeled as like basically Fire Emblem 17. This game is labeled as Fire Emblem 19, so obviously something had to be in the middle.
Where is 18? Oh wait, couldn't it just be the Fire Emblem Heroes that we got?
Heroes is not considered a mainline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's not numbered. And it's weird because I was like, that seems like too many Fire Emblem games. And apparently, I guess one of them that's numbered is the Satellaview Fire Emblem.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, and it's weird too because I guess from what I was reading, like they didn't number these all like originally with the same numbering system. Like just somewhere down the line, they decided to like retroactively add that one in as one of the ones. So yeah, but I guess the thinking was like it had its own maps, it had its own story, it had its own dialogue, so it's its own Fire Emblem. So there it is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then it does have like those online features too that were I think it was in at least the last one. I can't remember if it was in 3DS one or not. Where it would kind of like look and see where like other players died, and if you land on like a spot, then you'll get like a bonus from going there. That's back too. So I've gotten like a couple like shit weapons and just general things from it. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it seems like it's a very straightforward sequel. Like I really feel like Fire Emblem, you'll probably like it. I said it ditches some of like the Persona-esque stuff in between, but it still has your supports and those kind of things there. So it's not like you are losing all those things. And from what I could tell, the like in between area, well, maybe not as diverse as the school was from 3 houses, still seems to have plenty enough to do. So yeah, there's that. And if you're a Fire Emblem Amiibo person, most of them have been re-released for the release of this game. This game does support amiibos. I think they unlock like costumes and special music, if I remember. I've not scanned any in yet. So, do you guys have any questions?
No.
That's pretty much what I wanted to hear about it. So
yeah, same.
It's good.
I don't know when I'll get to play it because I still do need to play God of War, and Dead Space comes out in 3 days.
Yep.
So
that's true.
And at this point, I'm more excited to play Dead Space than I am God of War. So God only knows when I'll play Fire Emblem.
Dead Space is looking pretty good.
It's looking great.
Look great.
It's good to hear. I mean, in terms of Fire Emblem, I feel that's definitely like a U series, Mike. So like to hear like at least good things about it from you is very telling to me.
Agreed.
Well, let's see. We'll wait till next week. Maybe I'll hate it by then.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll be like, this fucking game. The fuck?
If that is the update, I'll be like, well, I guess I'm just not going to pick that up now, am I?
Yeah, and it does have the DLC coming out already, too, where they're adding in, like, characters from, like, other games.
And more deaths, right?
Yes, more.
Okay, wow. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Although I just, honestly, though, like, this is doing the same thing that Xenoblade did with its season pass, where it's like its first 3, it's promising like 4 drops of content, but the first 3 are like, here's some extra characters, and the 4th one's like new story.
That's literally what Sonic's doing that we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
it's like why do they do like I don't want the first 3, I want the 4th one, but it just is like, well, I guess because I thought about the other day, I'm like, should I buy it now? And so I have the new things and I can try them, and I was like, no, because honestly, I want to play whatever the new story content is, and I'd rather just do it all at once at that time than to just play some of it now and try to remember to come back to it in a year. So that's what I say. So yeah, why can't you just why don't you just make like one big like DLC? Why does that have to be over the course of a year? Don't know.
I don't know.
For a game like this, I feel like it doesn't make much sense. People are gonna finish it and they're gonna be done with. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I can't believe that they released Mickey Mouse as a downloadable character for Fire Emblem.
Shit.
Better reopen that game, start over again. No, not today, Satan. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got game wise.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll run through a few things.
Okay.
All right, I was telling you that, the just being dropped into the world and being like, why am I here? Reminded me of another game. Yeah, I played the demo for Forspoken. It's Forspoken? Is that the name of it? I wrote Forsaken. It's Forspoken. I wrote the wrong name. It don't matter. It didn't leave that much of a lasting impression on me. So anyway, let's go on and talk about the bad.
Okay.
So I decided to give this as fair a shake as possible because I've seen a lot of people being like, you know what? This looks not like it should be $70. This looks not like it should be a next gen title. This looks, that's a fair criticism I've been seeing. So I was like, you know what? Cranking it to max, putting on ray tracing, I'm going for it. So I did that on the PS5 on the demo, and it looks okay. Like it doesn't look good enough to be a next gen title, but it also doesn't look bad enough to be like a early PS4 title or even a mid PS4 title. I would say like the later in the lifespan of the PlayStation 4 when it was pumping out like really good looking games or at least decent looking games such as on the really good side of things, I would say such as something like The Last of Us Part 2, which looks really, really good just in general. I would say it's somewhere between that and like the mid side of like the mid release of the PlayStation 4 kind of title. It doesn't look like a PS5 title. It really doesn't. The particle effects are actually really insane and really cool, but they also cause a lot of performance issues with the game where it will drop frame rate very hard with the more particle effects you put in. And that would be cool if I cared. But the combat of this game is so floaty and so it's not bad. It's just okay. It's so okay that it just doesn't feel like it would be worth it to actually purchase the game. So if they put out this demo to convince people not to buy it, they did a really good job. Because the demo is like a big, expansive, open area of the map. Like, it's not like as big as the map actually is, but it feels like a significant portion of the map, basically. It feels like a significant portion of the map, essentially. And that portion is actually pretty cool. It's really fun to run around in the map. The game almost feels like it's a tech demo of like a movement system. Because the movement system is very, very good. But when you couple it in with something like combat or like animations, the movement system just looks really, really good. Or like dialogue. And yeah, so I cannot stress enough how just this game doesn't feel like, and I get that it's a demo, but like the combat system and the way the game is made feels like something that's like, like the Order 1886. But like the Order 1886 was really pretty. So like that game, it felt like a really nice tech demo. This game, on that side of things, the movement system in this game would be really good in a game that's really good. But this game doesn't feel like it would be really good. And from the dialogue I've experienced in the demo, as well as what I've seen from the reviews, and myself from watching a few people play it, the dialogue don't get better. It gets significantly worse. And I am very much aware that there is a way to turn off the chatter, which is something they literally had to patch into the game because of how annoying it was. But maybe don't make your dialogue so bad that you have to turn off the chatter when doing open world traversal. It's not good. This feels like if Final Fantasy 15 was made by Ubisoft. And that's like not good. It just doesn't feel like anything to it. And then, from everything I've heard and from everything I've read as well as seen, the main character is completely unlikable because she just got transported to this place, and everyone's like, "Help us!" and she's literally just like, "Fuck off," and that is like her response for a large majority of the game. Just like, I don't want to do this. Sounds almost like a really bratty teenager that's just like, oh, do I have to? Fine. And it's just super annoying. Because like you take something like Miles Morales or Spider-Man, and you've got like the teenage kind of angst. You got like the teenage kind of, you know, like character story there. And it feels like a teenager, sort of, at least. You look at Forspoken, and you look at the dialogue, and you look at the world that's going on here, and you look at the way this character is reacting to it, and it feels like a 50-year-old wrote a teenager. And that's what this game is.
Oh,
So, like, all the obnoxious things a 50-year-old would think a teenager would say, such as, like, curse profusely for no reason whatsoever, to the point where, honestly, the way they're cursing doesn't even make sense and feels really, really forced, as well as, like, constantly chattering and being like, yeah, I'm the shit, and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff you have with the player character in this game. And as such, it makes them completely unlikable and just not fun to be around. Like I was in the demo, I had to go to a house to like do something. It was just literally a quest. It was like, go to this one place. So I went to this one place. And like she just like enters the door. They're like, "Oh wow, we found a place to we found this place," and like your cuff is like chatting to you and being all hoity-toity and everything. And the teenager girl, she's like, "I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some fucking rest." And then she just like goes to bed. And it's just like, what? Why? Why is that like the first thing you say when you get in? I need to fucking sleep. I gotta go to fucking bed. I don't want to fucking be here. And it's just like, you're trying too hard. And it's clear that this was not written by someone who's ever interacted with an actual teenager or like young adult or like even like anyone past 18. You do not know anyone that is outside of your age range, whoever wrote this. And it's bad. So yeah, movement system, really cool. You have really good parkour immediately. Everything else, no. So there you go. Moving on from that, I played Marvel Snap. You know, this game won the Game Awards and Mobile Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a really good game. I kind of got addicted to this game. I started playing it a few days ago, and I'm like already almost gold rank, and also my collection is like level 100 and like 50 something, I think. This is a card game where you have 3 lanes, and on each of the 3 lanes, at the start of each turn, the lane will flip over and tell you what the ability is for each card you play in that lane. Some cards that you can have in your deck can change those abilities, such as oh goodness, why can't I think of her name? Wanda, I think, is one of them. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, one of the characters can change like the lane, and then there are some lanes that do things like, okay, now you have a 7th turn instead of 6 turns. Every game lasts like no longer than 5 minutes, and it's like really fun. And essentially, there's a little cube, and you like tap the cube, and you snap it. And if you snap it, and then the enemy snaps back, then it's worth 2 cubes. And if you can go on and so forth, and like the faster you do that, the more cubes the match is worth. So if you like start the game and you're like snap, and you like snap immediately, you're going to be winning 8 cubes, which is like how you level up and that sort of thing. You build decks out of cards that you get from just playing the game, and you level those cards up, but it doesn't level up the power of the cards, it just makes them look cooler. So like when you first level them up, you get like a border break, which makes it so it looks like the character's breaking out of the card's borders, and it looks really neat. And then the second one, if you're playing on phone, gives you a 3D effect where it makes it where you can move the gyro of your phone, and it's kind of like looking at a 3DS where the picture moves when you're like moving your head around or whatever, but like it actually works really well here, and it looks really neat, really cool. And then there's other things that you can do to it, but essentially you're just doing that to level up your cards, so that you can level up your player rank, which gives you more cards and allows you to build more decks and so on and so forth. Now, I've been told that the later portions of the game, this can be very pay to win because, I mean, it is a free to play game and it is a free to play competitive card game. So, do with that as you will. But if you just like checking in, playing a few games here and there, and checking out, it's a very fun card game. I've had things that are like when you play a card at this lane, make a copy of this card in every other lane. So then you like on turn 1 you have like 1 energy, and turn 2 2, turn 3 3, and so on and so forth. And you can drop cards that require 3 energy, or you can drop a card that requires 1 energy and 2 energy, or you could do so on and so forth. And you want to build your deck around having all sorts of different kinds of energy that you can drop cards into different lanes throughout the entire game. And then the card that has the most attack power at the end of 6 turns wins that lane. And if you win 2 lanes, you win the game. And like I said, it's very quick, little 5-minute thing here and there. If you've ever liked Marvel, and I mean even besides like the the MCU, like the movies and stuff, like if you ever liked like the actual comic books and stuff, you'll really like this. And if you like trading card games, you'll also really like this. And because like I'm sick and fucking tired of Marvel. I don't give a shit. I fucking love this game. This game is so much fun. I was actually playing it and the other game on my list, which is Among Us, which I went back to with a friend recently who started playing it again. They have a lot of different things they've added to that game, which is very interesting, such as like cosmetics that you can unlock just by playing, and the hide and seek mode that recently came out that incorporated the fan-made hide and seek game into an actual official game, which is really fun to play. I'm just going over these 2 games at the same time because most of the time when I'm playing Marvel Snap, I'm also playing Among Us. So I'm able to also go over these. Exactly. So yeah, they're fun. Among Us is fun again, I think, because of the new mode that just came out. And I think Marvel Snap is fun because like even if you lose, you can just get right back in within like 3 seconds. And then like it's like less than 5 minutes for a match. So just doing that repeatedly, much like what we were talking about with Vampire Survivor, is something you can really get in a groove with and just kind of lose yourself to. And I absolutely have as well. And Marvel Snap's good. Really good. So recommend that game. And then the other game on my list, which is Sackboy's Big Adventure. I finally finished this game. I got this game at launch, actually, of the PS5, and I played through it initially online with a friend, and we recently set up streaming through my Steam Deck so that I could stream, and I streamed myself playing the end of Sackboy's Big Adventure on Saturday. And oh my god, the further I went in this game, the more I hated it. This game, by the end of it, is such a mess, technically, that it is just not fun. I have a literal video from mine and his point of view playing that game where we are seeing 2 totally different things that completely break the game because of it. And I feel like the further we went in that game, the more glitchy and unplayable it got. And the presentation's great, and the game's a lot of fun to play, but the amount of glitches we ran into in that little game was just unacceptable. It was not enjoyable because of that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's what I've done. I'm done. I'm done talking now.
All right. So.
Yes.
That's
it's time for Nick. It's time for Nick.
The Nick show.
Yes.
It's time for the Nick show.
So no news to discuss this week.
Yeah.
But something that I would like to talk about formally now on the podcast. Mike and Brandon have been in the loop, I guess, for the past couple weeks now, right?
Yeah.
I am formally leaving Game Crunch as a full-time podcast host. I want to be forthright and say it has nothing to do with either of these gentlemen. They have been fantastic. Nothing short of it, actually. We've been doing this for how many years now?
I think this is.
I mean, you guys obviously longer than me.
Since the beginning.
Obviously, I was brought on as a late addition to those who have been here long enough to remember another host who I guess I won't. I guess Tom. Tom, who is here.
I won't. Whatever. I will.
Fuck it. And I've been on here ever since. I'm gonna say because I remember specifically celebrating my 21st birthday in Tom's apartment.
Uh-huh.
And I know I had been on the podcast at that time, and I am now 29.
Jesus
So
fucking Christ. Holy
at
shit.
least 8 years. I will say at least 8 years with you
That's so
guys.
crazy. That's so fucking crazy. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but then in retrospect, it does make sense too because like I was not working at Carvana when I first started talking to you guys,
Nope.
and I was there for 6 years.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Which, yeah,
It's
that
at
is
the
crazy.
beginning and the end of Carvana.
Yeah,
We did actually see the beginning and end.
yeah, you did, you did. But no, so just because of personal things in my life, I just don't have the kind of time that I'd like to dedicate to this anymore, honestly. It's not, like I said, nothing about these two guys. Like I said, they're if I were to have a podcast, these were the two guys that I would go with every single time. Um, Genuinely, if you're a listener of this podcast, right, and you're like, oh, what kind of things do I need if I want to have my own podcast? And literally, you just got to find a couple of people who you can shoot the shit with and talk to like they're longtime friends. Because that's the best kind of interaction that you will ever get. I just, like I said, don't have, unfortunately, the time to commit to this anymore. My life has kind of, in the last year, really 180'd. Flipped. What's the? I can't quote the fucking Fresh Prince lyric right now, but like flip turned upside down, if you will. Got a new job. Got a house. Have fur babies now. I have a lot more responsibilities and just kind of things that I need to dedicate time to. So I've had to make some time adjustments in my personal life, and unfortunately, this is one of those things that I've decided that I can't really do anymore. I will, however, still come back for big events like E3 type stuff, and I do want to be back next year for Game of the Year, so I can talk about all the things that I had played this year.
That'll be so interesting because it'll be like we don't know what you've played, and so that'll be really cool.
Well, the thing is, you guys will need a tiebreaker person. So, that I will be offering my services for that, and then eventually, when Metroid Prime 4 does get announced, I will be on this. I will not ask. I will just hop in on the day, and I will be talking about it.
Nice.
There is a rumor that broke today. There's a new 2D Metroid coming out next year.
I saw that rumor. It looks cool. I hope it's true. I hope it's true.
Probably before Metroid Prime 4, let's be honest.
Absolutely. We're probably going to have like 6 more 2D Metroids before
I'll take
Prime
it.
4.
I love Dread. I love the shit
Dread
out of
is excellent.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's kind of, I'm trying to figure out like how to word and sum up 8+ years of podcasting here, but if you want to follow me and kind of see what I get into next, I want to still talk about video games. I still want to talk about this thing that I love, whether it be in a more maybe written format, because that I kind of can like do that incrementally over, I can do like a 10-minute thing here or whatever. I still would like to talk about games in some capacity. So if you want to follow me, I am on Twitter as always at the mechanic at TheMechanik. Still got that in one shot. Let's fucking go. And then you can through there find my Twitch links if I hop on a stream or anything of that nature. But yeah, so it's been honestly just incredibly awesome all these years doing this with you guys. I've honestly, and Brandon, this is more your fault than it is Mike's. I've played so many things that I would have never played. So many things, honestly. Like me, so like the taste in video games that me and Mike have are quite similar, and obviously too, like there's things that you and me have in common, very similar in taste. But there's also things that like I would never play. Like I would have never picked up Vampire Survivors. I would have never known about some things.
I agree. I picked up some random shit because of Brandon.
Yeah. So
I love games. I love video
Yeah.
games in general. It doesn't matter where it comes from, who made it. I love checking out games.
Yeah.
So if anyone ever wants suggestions out there, feel free to reach out to me because I will try to find something for you.
But I guess if to sum up anything here it would be to please keep listening and supporting these guys. They really give a shit about this and, coming back to this every week and recording and talking about the stuff that they love. So, like, definitely keep supporting them. I know I will be. It will be really weird being a listener now because I will be listening in my
Promoted
car.
to listener.
Yeah, I got promoted to listener. I will be listening in my car rides to and from work. Just to kind of keep up because I still will need to like hear about things that I have no idea what the fuck. Because I
this
know
time when you yell at Brandon, he won't be able to hear you.
That's true.
So-
That's true.
it's gonna be like. Both of you seen Interstellar?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know the scene where he's like trying to like yell at himself through the wall. They're like, Brandon, no. But yeah, so like I said, you can follow me on my socials. I will be back here from time to time. But yeah, so that's about it. I don't know. I got really nothing else to say about it. I mean, I don't know if you guys have anything that you want to ask me before I depart for my last time here. But yeah.
I actually have a surprise for you. Can
Huh?
you look under your Steam account instead of your chair for me?
Oh my God, it's a 2007 Nissan Altima. No.
It's an
Hell
MCI
yeah.
video card.
No, Brandon gifted me the Vampire Survivors Legacy of Moonspell DLC. Thank you, sir.
Oh, that's
No
really
problem, my
nice,
man.
That's awesome.
No problem. You seem
I'm
like
going
you
to
really
step
enjoyed
over
it,
there.
and I just wanted to do
fucking
something.
love it. I love it. I love that game so very much. So yeah, no, thank you for that. That's awesome. I will be playing.
No problem, man. No problem at all. I'm just happy that we've had you here with us. It's meant a lot. You've been
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic over the years, and it's sad. It like I completely understand, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to be sad.
It won't
No,
be the
that's-
same without you.
Yeah.
It won't be at all.
Even though we have on recording that Brandon said you will be quickly replaced.
Oh, that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. That was just me not being able to sentence because I'm
There's
so
been
bad at
people chomping at the bit.
it.
I'm sure.
I would like to. I don't know if you're ever free on the weekends at all,
Uh-huh.
but I would like to also invite you to my Discord and formally extend a invite to you that anytime I am streaming on Saturday, which is normally at 7 p.m. until, and there's a lot of question marks after that until, you are more than welcome to hop into the Discord, hop into my chat, or even come join us and play some games with us.
Very
would
good.
love to have you there.
I will commit to that. I will do that. Right now, you've picked a horrible time because I literally last Saturday started DMing a D&D game.
I totally understand. I'm going to tell you this ahead of time. On the 18th, I'm planning on doing... Not 18th, sorry. On the... Wait, no, it might be the 18th. Give me a second. On the 18th of February, I'm planning on doing a birthday stream because my birthday is on the 22nd, and I'm just going to play a bunch of different random shit. So if you have any of the random shit that I'll be playing, you're more than welcome to join. And if you don't, I would love to have you stop by just to say hi or whatever.
I will do that.
Shoot the shit for a while.
Yes, I will do that.
The same goes for you as well, Mike. I would greatly... Listen, I'm not trying to leave you out, Mike, but you're also not leaving. So there's that. I could continue to have this conversation with you over the next few weeks.
Hey, Nick, here,
not so much,
seconds.
It is funny though, because even like while we're recording this episode, Mike's like, "Oh, we'll get to that next week, and I'll talk about that." And like in the back of my head, I'm like, "Tee hee."
I know. But I mean, it's like, well, I mean, hey, if you listen to it, like,
yeah.
that's who I'm talking to, the people.
Plus, you're in our chat, so like we can literally just chat with you about it.
And I literally am the administrator of the Discord server, so I like, even though I'm gone, I am still pulling the strings, the strings, so to speak.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, no. So like, I guess to summarize it, this is not a goodbye, a full blown goodbye, but just more of like a see you later type deal.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Smell
just
you later.
yeah, smell you later, and just I guess to you two, this is more so. I was kind of talking to the audience, but now I guess I'll talk to you two. Just like keep at it, like this. Honestly, like it's always a fun time, and the guests that we have on, I know would enjoy being here, especially talking to you guys. So like, just keep doing this. Like you know what you do, I think makes a lot of people happy. So, but it's been a pleasure. It's been one of the most profound things, and I hope this doesn't come across as sad, but been one of the most profound things that I've contributed to at least this kind of a space. And yeah, so that's all I've got. But,
thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you
I would always.
Thank you for being a friend. There you go.
I would always. Can that be the name of this episode? If I could make a request,
like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Very good. I also love Golden Girls, so that ties in very nicely.
Yes, it always does.
Alrighty.
I feel like there's another Golden Girls joke there somewhere, but I lost it.
I don't know. I'm never good with these things.
Who is? We know what the funny thing is. Like, Nintendo will probably be like, you know what? Fuck this, Nick kid. Or announce Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4 next week.
Could you imagine the absolute angst that I would have? Right, all right. We do our little thing tonight. And like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be here weekly anymore. Blah, 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 blah. And then like fucking Thursday, like, guess what, bitches? Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Metroid.
Would be convinced that they listen to us. I'd be convinced that someone there listens to us. That's what that would be.
And I'd be like, oh, look who's come crawling back.
Oh man, that would be like literally my luck, and just like Game Crunch podcast luck of being like, oh, I guess we'll see what happens, and like on like a Tuesday that we record for an episode on Friday, and like Wednesday they're like, tomorrow, Earthbound 2 will be shown off. Like, fuck,
what the fuck? It just took Nick leaving the podcast for all the things Nintendo people have been asking for decades to be released.
We're gonna get Mother 3 this month.
Dude, Switch 2 being announced in like a month. It's happening. It's happening.
Mother 3. What else is there? I don't know.
Metroid Prime 4.
all
Zero.
Galaxy remasters.
Star Fox.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Star Fox Metroid crossover that was rumored at one point.
Oh yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 And
It's
Star
all
Fox Racing.
It's all coming to a head.
It was the paradigm shift that Nintendo needed.
Oh shit.
The last thing holding us back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah, so that's all I have, I guess, forever. No.
Oh god. Oh, that hurt.
So what else?
Oh.
I don't know.
We can end it on a happy note,
Uh-huh.
where I make fun of Brendan Urie for breaking up, quote unquote, the band of Panic at the Disco, like he wasn't hoisting that Weekend at Birdie's dead body around for decades.
Dude was just carrying that around in a suitcase. Like, it still exists.
The crazy news in the entertainment world today: the ship of Theseus sunk. More at 11. Oh man.
Well,
The awkward silence makes things really hard.
well, I mean, the awkward silence gets automatically edited out.
Yeah.
So
No, but it doesn't in real life. That's the problem.
Just gonna sound like a normal conversation.
I know.
People are gonna be like, "What's Brandon talking about? Awkward silence? I don't hear nothing."
Yeah, and you're right.
And then people are gonna be like, "Oh, he must just be crazy." I don't know.
Well, hold up, Nick.
Yeah.
I have not finished Spy Family. Obviously, I have not.
Yeah.
I'm only 5 episodes in. But really, better than Edge Runners? You think it's better than Edge Runners?
Yes,
Oh,
I do.
okay.
I do.
Okay. I'll have to continue to watch to see. But I think Edge Runners is fucking
Here's I will
fucking
say this.
masterpiece.
This is the caveat to that.
Okay.
I am 12 episodes in the Spy Family, and it has dawned on me that this is just a UK spy trying to bring down Hitler through his very stupid daughter. That's all the show is.
Oh my god, she's so fucking funny.
Yeah. But it's
Her
very good.
Her ootings are very good.
Yeah, no, it's quite good. I love it. It's
I just
very
also
good.
outed myself as a dub watcher by saying that.
No, it's fine. I'm also watching it dubbed. You would miss that in the subtitle version.
Yeah, because instead they used incorrect katakana and hiragana as her speech impediment, which is also fantastic, but it would be lost on us.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
And you know what else is lost? That entire conversation. Mike's like, "What the fuck are these two talking about?"
Yep, I have no clue. Just zoned
No
right
idea.
out, honestly. They
It's
went to
anime
places
stuff.
I don't
It's
understand.
anime stuff. It's anime
Oh,
stuff.
anime stuff.
Yeah.
I was looking on Nick's Twitter and I was seeing his feed, so that's where that came in at.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that is good.
I mean, the other option is we could just never end this episode and force Nick to be here.
That
for it.
is also very fair.
I'm stuck in the what the fuck? Why am I like blanking on the name of it right now? What's the thing between heaven and hell?
Purgatory.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my god. This is my purgatory.
Yeah. The episode 500 Purgatory. Just never ends. We're stuck there forever. Every episode.
Although I will say, if I can't leave the desk, then I can't go to my job, and I can't pay my electric bill, and then my PC will eventually shut down
You got a phone.
without power.
It'll last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes. I don't know if that was fair.
Being laid off 2 times in the span of a year is terrible.
She won't let you starve.
Oh
You'll
my
be fine.
god. Incredible.
All right. Does that mean you guys are ready to wrap up?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Think so.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight and over the last 500 episodes, I suppose.
Jesus Christ.
If you haven't figured it out by now, in the span of almost 10 years, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on game-crunch.com for all our old episodes. Brandon, any final thoughts?
I do streams weekly on Saturday at 7 p.m. I'm getting back into it now. I also have a Discord called the Streaminators. You can reach out to me at Asuka Kakado, hashtag 7530 if you have any questions or whatever. If you want to be added to the Discord, if you want to chat or what have you, please do. It's fun talking with people. Much like it's been fun talking with you, Nick, for the last 500 fucking episodes almost.
Well, I hope so, or you're just very good at putting on airs.
No, I mean, I might be. I was a drama kid. You never know.
Hey, listen. Very good. 8 years of the act, so you've done
Did you remember that he just said that how quickly you were going to be replaced?
He did, yeah.
I think he's finally shown his true form.
The body's not even cold yet.
Just fucking yeeted it out. Just like, get out of here! Like the Toy Story thing.
Oh my god.
Nick, any final thoughts? I mean,
like I said,
yours, but yeah.
You can follow my Twitter account at the mechanic at TheMechanick. I'll take a page out of your book. Like I am Pepperoni Chan on all of your favorite gaming consoles and Steam. So if you want to add me on anything and play video games, do that. And yeah, just follow me there and see what I get into next, I guess.
I'm gonna get you into CS:GO next. You and me are gonna play that competitive.
Oh god.
It'll be fun. Let's
Yeah,
go!
Let's
go! Let's go!
Oh my god, I'm too old for that.
You're not too old. You're
Anyone
fucking younger
is
than
too
me.
old for that.
You're fucking younger than me.
You gotta be like 14.
CS:GO's popped back around to the late
Okay.
20s.
I would say I think it's actually probably the other way, Nick. I think you're too young for that.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Okay,
It's definitely more of like a midlife crisis game.
definitely not past my prime then yet. Very good.
I've played it since I was a kid, so.
Very good.
Wow, that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. Find me online. I'm Clash of Penguin. Your favorite gaming console.
How they literally just said it.
I fucked him up.
Well, no, I'm trying just not to say Twitter anymore. I'm trying to get it out of my like vocabulary routine.
Because you know it's gone. You know it's gone.
It's dead to me. And you know what the problem is though? I've been saying it like for so many fucking episodes that it's just like it feels unnatural to not say it like that.
Yeah.
So I guess I just need to make it like really queasy every week until it turns into something else. That's what I need to do.
Just pretend like every time you say Twitter,
Let's
you're
replace it. Like
Twitter.
just instead of Twitter, be like, find me on GeoCities.
Yeah, GeoCities.
Or like MySpace.
Oh, is it? Yeah, MySpace would be a good one. Oh, Friendster, Napster.
You can't. But
what?
Find me in PictoChat.
Oh, that sounds just
wait, what was that? Hold on, what was that? What was that?
IMVU.
IMVU. Find me on IMVU.
I don't even know what that is.
Or Second Life. Find me on Second Life.
Meet me in RuneScape by Falador Castle.
What was that Maple game? What was that?
Maple Story. Let's go. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That game still has a massive population. Like holy shit.
When I worked at GameStop, those people were devoted.
Oh, those people love that game. Yeah.
So Nick, we'll miss you. That's my final thought.
I'll miss you as well, Nick.
I think it's only appropriate if Nick sends us out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Until I guess I'll say until next time. Is that okay?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fine. Until next time. Game on.
Game on.
Oh my god, I cannot stress how
on the edge of my seat.
I know.
Someone came at my door. Hold on.
I could not stress how.
She's my what? Zelda's my what?
Could be anything.
Hold on. There's literally someone at my front door.
It's probably a graphics card. The same one you sent back a month ago.
Did it knock?
It's going to be tough. Not like to find a replacement, but I felt like you just fit in
not
so
to find
well.
A replacement.
No. I didn't. No.
You guys lined up for years.
We had so many people lined up. No. I said that came out the wrong way. I was trying to say I don't mean that like in that way. I mean it's going to be tough. Not having you, son of a bitch. I tried to like say something like nice and like heartfelt, and I fucked it up.
To burn through that fucking rogue gallery.
No, that is not what I meant. It's gonna be rough without you, and yeah, it sucks. I understand that you have a lot of shit that's going on.